And now we have the genius behind the Savage Eye, the very well-known and brilliant comedian, David McSavage. Who's doing an Instagram post as we speak. Right, Dave, how are you?
How are you? I'm good. As my autistic comedian friend said, I think I'm okay, which I really relate to, you know what I mean? Because you never really know if you are okay or not. I mean, you're tempting fate. He's talking, by the way, and I do have ADHD, AIDS, so you know what I mean? It's a quick joke there. Okay, it didn't work that well. But you know the way, as a comedian, right, can I just tell you folks, you know, you're trying to do jokes. This isn't stand-up comedy, we're having a conversation. But you know, and then if somebody talks in the audience, the general public's attention is taken away just seconds like that. And then, you know what I mean? So in other words, can you imagine having sex with someone in a room and every 10 seconds somebody kind of goes, "Way!" Like it would throw you off your rhythm. Do you see what I'm trying to say? No? Yeah. So that's all.
It's actually the only way I can come. Dave, I want to talk about cancel culture.
Everybody's imagining what you look like now. Yeah, cancel culture.
Do you have experience with have you been cancelled ever?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell us a bit about
well, you know, well, first of all, it's very rude to cancel someone, and you know, you cancel an appointment, you cancel a train journey, but to cancel a human being, i.e., for them to be dead, you know, you know, but there's a lot of people I will never talk to again. So I mean, they are dead to me. They're not dead. They're living and they're thriving and surviving. But they're dead to me. But I mean, like for instance, young women that I would like to have sex with, they don't want to have sex with me. So sexually, I'm dead to them. So they have, you know, cancelled. So it goes on all the time.
But they've cancelled it in the sense that they're not going to jump into bed with you, but they haven't actually gone and emailed Queen's or some venue you're performing at and saying, "I really don't like that guy. He should never work again."
Yes, they have. No, it's very arrogant to think that you are so anointed and chosen that you could make that decision. So something that you disagree with to the point where you're deciding for other people that person should not be listened to. It's very arrogant. I mean, I find a lot of people very annoying. And they find me, and they, you know, but can we not peacefully coexist and just have different opinions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh God, Jesus Christ.
Graham Linehan is doing this podcast soon, and he got cancelled particularly badly.
Yeah, well, he dipped his toe in that whole trans thing. It's you know, I wouldn't go fucking near it in a million years. It's like this. It's like those Charlie Hebdo guys. If you have fundamentalists down the road going, "If you make fun of the thing we're into, we're going to fucking kill you," I'd be like this: "You got it." I will not go fucking near whatever that is.
But you do. I've seen you on stage doing jokes.
No, you haven't. What are you talking about?
I've seen you. I've seen you do jokes with the trans person in the room, but they weren't offended. But if I did,
I never made any joke or allusions to anybody who is, you know what I mean? You know, No, there's a lot of people who are very sensitive, and in particular now around Graham Linehan. I mean, talk about going against the prevailing opinion. I mean, he, you know, you can say what you want about him, but he's incredibly courageous, but almost suicidal in a way, like the you know, to take on that issue. I don't have a fucking clue about that whole thing, you know. Like you know, I'm a man, but you know, I'm a woman. I mean, if you want to get real, right? You know, this identify as a woman, and you know, I identify as not existing. That is true because my father didn't like me, and so he made me feel like I didn't exist. So, objectively, if you were an alien and you saw me in a social situation, I was always trying to get attention, and I didn't care whether people hated me or liked me, as long as they were paying attention to me. And so therefore, I looked like I was behaving like I didn't exist. So that's, you know, but you can't get an operation for that, can you? You can't get a penis extension for existence. Oh, fuck off. Anyway, listen, all I'm trying to say is there are a small militant group of fucking cunty little Trinity students who are desperate to cancel people, and they're doing ketamine on the fucking weekends, and their dad has bought them a house on Kingsland Parade, and they fucked a homeless person, and they think they're very virtuous, and they're very mean-spirited, but they know their way around the internet. Sorry. So, no, I love everyone, and God bless trans people.
Yeah, okay. We had Graham in this room and he did a show and he got a standing ovation, but I advertised it, but I didn't advertise it the way I would with Dave, where I just sent it out to the database that has been collected. I sent it to a smaller database of people who I thought would be interested, and they came. And the reason I did that is because I didn't want people, because I've had experience with it where they go into a network and those people then go and contact the manager, and then they find out the owners, and then they go to the Dalkey forum and the Dunleary forum, and they start looking at tweets from 2009 before Twitter was invented, and try and get you individually cancelled, and then try and get the events there cancelled. So I've had a small bit of experience with it, nothing like what Graham has. He's lost his career.
Yeah, he has. He it seems like temporarily he cannot. Well, I think he's doing okay now, but
he's touring in Australia and he's got some cancellations, but some of the gigs are going ahead. But things have changed now, because one could argue that the general ideology isn't quite as strong as it was, and now it's more accepted because of what happened with the Cast review. Did you hear about that? The Travistock thing. Basically in the UK they said what they were doing up to now isn't really acceptable behaviour anymore. So therefore Graham Linehan has sort of been proven right, you could argue. What do you think of that? Are you making the jokes because of the smoke thing?
No, I'm just...
Is that like the thing
I
you're
thought...
talking about?
Is this... Who's your man?
I don't know. I've seen him. He was in the exact same seat at one gig. He normally just sits in Finnegan's on the same seat, and I walk in there and I see him and I get the fuck back to Queen's.
Are you a performer, sir?
Evidently not.
You definitely not.
Oh, no, I'm a witness.
Is that a girlfriend or a hostage? What's going on?
It's a reflection on how you feel.
Why are you sitting up at the front? Are you bored? Why would you be coming if you're not interested in what's going on?
Have you seen the other
It's mad, isn't it?
Have you seen the other thing?
Huh?
So Ryan Tubridy's your cousin, Dave. And he didn't book you for how many years on the Late Late Show?
Huh?
He had the Late.
Why didn't you interview that cunt over there?
Now there's a word that could get you in trouble.
No, but that's the great thing. When I was growing up, conversations were acoustic. They weren't broadcast everywhere. So we could get into fights when I was growing up, and it was local. You know what I mean? Now if you fuck up, it can get broadcast everywhere. That's a big problem. Do you know what I mean?
Well, like it is. If you're going along with the narrative and you're doing what you're meant to be saying, then you're fine. But if you do question the narrative, yeah, you're publicly questioning the narrative. And if you
I just want to make a living. And if there are people, like you say, who have the power to, cancel people. You know what I mean? It is annoying, but hopefully they'll fuck off.
They have the power to intimidate businesses, because people go, oh look, Jesus, there's a bit of you're going to lose customers, but ultimately it doesn't really work, because they're not customers in the first place anyway. They create a facade that looks like they have the power to cancel you, and business people will pull back. So I found it hard to book Graham. Like maybe half the venues have said no, but because I've worked a lot in particular venues and made the money, a few of them have said yes, so he's going to come back and do a tour. So I'll be facing that. But you don't have that experience on stage. No one actively tries to cancel you, except for the women.
Oh yeah. Hello, I am Graham Linehan. Thank you. And I don't know. What were you asking about my cousin Ryan Tubridy?
You were never on the Late Late Show while he was there. You were on under Pat Kenny, but he didn't book you. Why is it? Is it personal, or is it just he's afraid of what you might say?
Yeah, I think, 14 years he hosted the Late Late Show and he never had me on. And before that, Pat Kenny had me on a lot. Thank God, TV, I mean, it is sort of important, but it's nowhere near as important as it used to be because of social media. So I'm able to build an audience outside of mainstream media, and that success transposes into ticket sales. But yeah, you are always worried. Like I do always feel like one sentence away from cancellation. Do you know what I mean? which is, but you know, that's kind of the fun as well. The tension is good for stand-up comedy.
And you can't get really cancelled. I mean, a lot of people got cancelled on Instagram and social media during the COVID times. But Ryan Tubridy had the COVID times.
Okay, do you want to talk to me about
Ryan Tubridy's agent is called Noel Kelly.
Oh, he looks like the devil, doesn't he, that guy?
He's got a look of
That was the best TV show I've ever seen, at the Oireachtas TV, when Ryan and Noel Kelly were up in front of these big culty senators. And what the fuck are you thinking of fucking ripping off RT? And it was great. Fuck, man.
What do we do?
I don't know.
Do we keep going? Or do we ask
just
to
give him
leave?
his
Do we wait
money?
till the audience?
I don't know.
Guys, do you want your money?
Why don't you just take your money back? Yeah, but you're in the front row. Don't tell me to. If you're in the front row, it makes me feel like what I'm saying is totally fucking pointless and makes me self-conscious. So if you're not interested, just fuck the fuck off. You tribute band twat. Okay? Just fuck off. Honestly, because no, you're a pain in the hole as well because you're enabling him. If you're going to have a conversation when we're trying to have a fucking interview in front of, you're a selfish fucking bastard. Just fuck off.
We can't do the podcast with you talking.
Go on. I'm going to fuck off until you fuck off. Right? Fuck off. No, fuck that. Fuck off.
Okay, cheers. Thanks.
No. Sorry about that, folks, but you know, you can't fucking have a conversation with people who don't.
Well, it was easier for me because I didn't have to look. It was right in front of your eyes.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's a bit of excitement, anyway, isn't it?
I know.
You know what I mean? It makes me look like a cunt.
Yeah.
I kind of cancelled myself right there.
Honest opinion, does he look like a cunt for that?
No, yeah, I do. It doesn't matter. It's okay. I know they, you know, these people own houses. That's okay. You know what I mean? They own houses. They look down on people like me. You can tell people own. Anyway, sorry about that. But your man, you know what I mean? He just couldn't give a fuck. And then I found that very distracting.
Well, it is very distracting, Dave. Yeah, when someone's
Well,
talking.
you weren't as distracted as I was.
I was distracted, and I could see you being distracted.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
focusing on you, going.
Yeah.
It didn't make it easier.
If I was in the audience looking at me having to go through that, I would be very supportive of me right now. But I think a lot of these people, they work in jobs. I don't know. Go on.
But I mean, you said they have houses. I'm curious here. Make some noise if you have a house.
I mean, own a house. I feel it's right.
Like a lot of people in Ireland. I've read the statistic, but I've forgotten. Under the age of 30, the amount of people that live at home, and over the age of 40 even. And that's a thing now. And why is that a thing, Dave? The housing crisis. Why they're building houses?
The housing crisis.
I'm like Pat Kenny.
Yeah. The housing crisis. I fucking don't know, mate.
I don't know.
Well, I do know that that is, like, if you look at people out there, they're all, like, part of their brain is just thinking about house all the time. House, you know. Will I sell it? You know, will I buy another one? You know, that's the Irish entrepreneur, you know, buy a house, divide it up into 6 fucking apartments, rent it out to Ukrainians, Latvians, Moldovans, 20 years time, you sell it, you know what I mean? There's lots of guys walking around with big bunches of keys and they own 6 houses. And it's like the classic Irish entrepreneur. I don't own a house, I'm 58, I rent, I'm ashamed, okay?
Would the houses be more affordable if the Irish state didn't allow so much migration into the country?
Off. Will you fuck off?
Would it?
No, I don't want to talk about that shite.
Well, why not?
What migration?
Like
So my ex-wife is Polish, you can't.
Okay, but did she have a free house?
What?
Does she get a house paid for by the state?
Oh, Aidan, who gives free houses to people?
Well, anybody who gets a house, well, the Irish state.
Yeah, nobody gets free houses, Aidan. They don't. Well, I want one then. I'll migrate here.
Well, if you pretend, if you leave, go to Ukraine, come back, say you're Ukrainian, you can have a house.
I'm glad that we are in a position to give out free houses. Thank you very much, Irish government. Thank you.
Okay. But you know, you wouldn't get it.
Huh?
You wouldn't get it if you were Irish. Like, I can't get a house.
Did your ex-wife not get a free house?
That's a good question.
It's real.
No,
what
she
are you
didn't.
on about? Anyway, I don't know about this free house stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Well, huh?
20 immigrants live in 6 to a bedroom.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely, there is that too. But there would be. I would say that there's a certain amount of houses.
Then can you bring the guy with the long hair back?
And there would be loads of people. Like my friend Connor is in a wheelchair, and he has a minder from Nigeria, and he's been working here for 10, maybe 15 years, and his kids are Irish at this stage, and they have Irish accents and so on. They grew up here, they were born here. But he said he sees lots of other people coming from Africa, and they're not working. They get houses straight away, and he feels left out.
Dave, I fucking love you. You are brilliant. This is big lovely shite.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry about that, mate. Yeah, I'm not into all that stuff. Yeah, no, because he's saying you can't, you know.
Well, I'm just asking a question. He can leave.
Well,
because it's one of the subjects you can't talk about. You can't talk about the trans stuff. You can't talk about migration, and you can't talk about what other subjects are you not allowed to talk about?
Well, there's
COVID.
people who are escaping war zones, and I don't know what Jesus, come on. I don't know where we're at now. I don't know what's going on. Fuck me in the face. Look.
Well, I'll just delete that bit off and cancel it. I'll just have the guy leaving.
Well, no, I mean, you were saying.
Hey, guys.
Yeah. Are you
Are
leaving as well? Oh, Jesus Christ, so many.
How many more can we get to leave? I wonder what subject should I ask to make the most people leave? Jeez.
Okay, let's talk about Israel. And, Jesus Christ. No, don't. But Aidan, it just sounds, the way you framed it, it sounds like they're coming over here, that kind of thing. I don't know under what situation people are given accommodation. Where is the accommodation? How long is it for? I'm not sure. I don't know about, the statistics.
I do know, yeah.
Okay.
Not even the statistics, just firsthand. I did 2 projects with the Grand Hotel in Wicklow when it was full of direct provision residents.
Which was an awful situation, direct provision. Putting people in those places for 10 or 12 years.
It is awful.
Yeah.
And then the Ukrainians came in overnight, and a guy was going around with a shotgun.
Because their country was invaded by Russia, and they were being shot at and killed, and their houses were being bombed, and I was... What?
She doesn't have a mic, can you let her talk?
That's how... I know, that's the power of the mic. No, sorry, come on.
I'm just telling you because no one's being told this. So the Ukrainians came in first, and they were going around with a shopping list, asking them, using some of the residents from the Direct Provision Hotel who spoke fluent Russian, to the Ukrainians, offering them apartments within 2 weeks. Then another batch of Ukrainians came in, and they were Iranian, they were Nigerian, but they were identifying as Ukrainian. And the exact same thing happened to them. And then the families that had been there for up to 3 years were looking at me and saying, Tina, how is this happening? How can people from Nigeria, from Iran be getting housed and we're not? We have no idea the amount of bullshit and lies we've been told.
So that would be a first-hand
I'm a stand-up
experience.
comedian, right? I'm not a politician. You should have had my brother up here because he's an MEP. Yeah, he'd be able to. I know. I'll do a politician now. Well, look, I appreciate your anger, and certainly you're moving forward. The mistakes were made. Listen. Lessons will be learned. Look, only up until recently has Ireland had any money. I mean, up until recently, Ireland was a great place to leave. Everybody went everywhere. We went to the States, Australia, everywhere. We were fucked economically. And now we're in a position to offer shelter to certain people. It's very bad if it's unfairly divided out. But, I don't know about those specific situations. I know direct provision I did a documentary about it, and it was a horrible situation. But I'm certainly out of my fucking depth here, I can tell you that much. And it's a very unpleasant place to be. I feel like giving a blowjob to a man now, I'm so confused. No, but I know, but I don't know the situation. You know, we can talk about it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you should interview her.
Well, she's doing a play actually. She's doing a play about the boys from Black Rock. Is it that play? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you went to Black Rock.
I did, yeah.
She
Wankers.
takes on the abuse situation that went on there. In a play.
I know that went. I feel bad. It's weird. It's weird actually having a conversation with someone, and I've got a microphone, you don't. But although it does feel unusually powerful, I do like it.
In the second half, I'm happy to share my microphone with anybody.
But a lot of abuse went on in Black Rock. I feel comfortable talking about clerical sex abuse if you really want to. That's my area of expertise. You know, we had priests in Black Rock College. We had nicknames for them. One guy was called Penis Head. One guy was called Rat Hannon. There was another guy called Brother Sex. He ran the video department. And, so he'd be recording boys playing rugby and, you know, reviewing the tapes.
And was he one of the guys who got done for sex abuse later on?
They were all rampant.
And did you know that as a boy? Could you feel that as a young?
I was one of the few boys who loved it. Sorry, it's not funny.
So you mentioned Barry Andrews, and your dad was a well-known politician.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to you? How did they feel about you being a comic?
Well, my dad was a massive disappointment to me. I can tell you that much. No, he was a minister in Fianna Fáil, and he was in Charles Haughey's government, and Charlie Haughey didn't get on with my dad, and my dad backed a guy called Albert Reynolds, and Charlie Haughey took over, but then he, under Bertie Ahern, he became Minister for Foreign Affairs and all that sort of crack, which was when I was a kid, my dad, I think he was parliamentary secretary, and he had a state car. And so on a few times, I'd get driven to school in the state car, which was fucking cool. And I think one of the drivers, or during the time of the Troubles, he had a gun, right? And he'd be driving around, and he'd sometimes show me the gun, and I just thought, fucking hell, that is cool.
He's probably coming on to you.
We'll be right back.
So,
for fuck's sake, not another one. Are you leaving? No. Oh Christ, thank God.
Just coming back.
That's definitely my demographic.
I mentioned Ryan Tubridy's agent, Noel Kelly, who looks like
the devil.
Yeah, right. And he
looks like he snorts babies or something. He just goes, like, you know what I mean? He just looks diabolical. But I guess you need somebody like if you're looking after Ryan Tubridy, you need to protect him from all the demons, because he's a very childlike.
During the times of COVID, they got paid more. That's my understanding. So do you think that Tubridy's payments were in any way related to the COVID promotion that he was doing, or the vaccine promotion, or the pharma promotion?
Oh, I love the vaccines, yeah. What?
Do you love the vaccines?
Oh yes, I got vaccinated. No, but you were you were quite courageous. Like my ex-missus is very anti-vax and all that. And she wouldn't let Jack or Daniel be vaccinated. Now, I disagreed with it, but I just thought, fair fucks to Hannah for sticking to her guns around that. I just know, personally, I have no fucking power. And you're always worried about them trying to control us. If I was them, I'd be trying to control us as well. But I'm not in that position. I'm riddled with every human defect. Do you know what I mean? But I know that I'm very angry, but I'm impotent. Thank you. I can't do anything about it. So, it's all vaccine, it's all a conspiracy. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But okay, so you took it, so you obviously believed it worked, and your wife didn't, and your kids didn't.
Yeah.
So
ex-wife.
How come ex-wife?
Polish.
How come you're Polish?
Coming over here and getting free houses.
Who you do?
Fucking.
Doesn't have a
free fucking blowjobs. Sorry, go on.
Coming over here.
Coming over here.
So, but did she feel stronger about it than you did? How come you didn't want to protect your children if you believed it enough that you decided to get it?
I don't know. Good question, though. But good question.
Does she wear the pants in your relationship?
She does, yeah. Does she? Well, no. I genuinely, actually, that's a very good question, Aidan. I think in many ways the mother, the female, the nurturer, she's just an amazing person. So I would defer to her because my brain isn't right. Like I'm an alcoholic. Thank you. So I would hand that decision-making process over to her, and I know Hannah loves Jack and Daniel so much, so she'd never make a decision that would put them in harm's way. So I just thought, well, Hannah knows that. So, but I didn't have a very strong opinion about it.
Well, I
just walked around like this for a year, just like that. Look, just going into fucking Listons. Yeah, could I have some cheese, please? That's not a mask. Oh well, it's a scarf, isn't it? Not good, you know what I mean?
Well, because when I saw your Instagram pictures, I felt you were just making fun of it. I felt you were kind of in the middle. You just weren't taking it seriously, just 2 weeks or whatever. You were mocking it. But then, when I was preparing for this, I found a quote about you. Did you say it? It says from The Sun.
Jesus.
That you said, there's no way forward for the human race unless they take the vaccine.
No, yes, I did say that. No, I don't know. I didn't say that. I'm sure. I wouldn't. That doesn't sound like it sounds like a very clunky thing.
Yeah, you make it.
I did not say that. No, but that's a ridiculous thing. There's no way forward for the human race. No. Also, the way I thought about it was like I've damaged my body so much, smoking and drinking and taking everything. So just now, fucking vaccine. I mean, who cares? I mean, you know what I mean? I liked it all actually. I liked all the little charts and things, and you queued up, and you felt part of the community. And you know what I mean? I don't know. Vaccine. I couldn't give a fuck.
I was at a talk today.
And then also, can I just say, historically, the human beings think that we're here for such a short time. We barely even exist. And this whole idea of, I don't care, like, in a few generations there will be no memory of any of you here. So, I mean, it doesn't matter, take the vaccine, don't take the vaccine, grow your hair long, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, the thing that gives meaning to the indifference of the universe, as far as I'm concerned, is, my kids, all that kind of crap. And the occasional ride. And,
if there was a negative consequences of taking it, for example, if you died, because some people would argue the excess deaths that are present today are directly related to the vaccine, the mRNA vaccine. And I was at a talk today by Dr. Hasim Malhotra, and he's like an expert. He's been on Joe Rogan. He's on. Okay, right. Some people know him. Okay. He stood you up. Okay, cool guy, but he stood Sheila up.
He stood you up. You must be gay, come on.
That's why we're here.
Come on.
Should have got a laugh that didn't get a laugh. That's worrying. I was trying to be nice to her and be charming, because she's attractive, and then if you stood her up.
They can't see. I know, but they could presume. They can't see. They could be like, oh, how's she?
Okay.
So anyway, this guy was an expert on the heart, and he was talking about statins and other things.
Yeah.
And one of them was, and he took the vaccine himself. He took 2 of them, I believe, is what he said. But then he said he realised that the extra heart attacks, the myocarditis, was related to the vaccine. Now, if that is the case, right?
Yeah.
And then you were encouraging it. Would you say you were encouraging it online?
No.
No, not really.
Not at all. No.
No.
I never said to take the vaccine.
Okay.
It's funny. It does. If you deny it, it sounds like I did say it, and I'm denying it. If I did, I can't remember saying it. I would not. It wouldn't be. Why would I fucking encourage? I don't give a fuck.
I never saw you saying it.
Yeah.
But the fucking Sun
Well,
said you
then,
did.
if it's in the sun, it must be true. You know what I mean? But no, yeah. So basically, I'm encouraging people to kill themselves. Is what you're saying.
How many people are dead because of you, Dave?
I'd say a good few. I honestly, actually, it's interesting, Aidan, because I used to have a recurring dream, and it happened for a few years, where I'd wake up, and I'd know, in the dream, I hadn't actually dreamt of killing someone, but in the dream, I know I had killed someone. And I was freaked out that I was going to be caught. And then when I woke up out of the dream, I felt so guilty about not feeling bad about the fact that I killed someone, and that the fact that I was only worried about getting caught. So I had this dream of murder for many years. And I think I do have the ability, in the right situation, to kill. no problem. I think I am a psychopath. And I'd like those people who are into cancel culture to be aware of that. You say cancel, I say, okay, bring it on.
But that's within anybody. It's the people who say, I would never do that. They're the ones you need to worry about. Right?
Yeah. No, but definitely, we're all humans, whether Israeli or Palestinian. We're all human beings, man. I could have been Palestinian or Israeli. I could have been born into Germany in 1921. I could have been a Nazi. You know what I mean? Like we human beings, we are fucked up, man. But then here's the other thing. Most of us, though, are very kind, which is lovely. And you see random acts of kindness every day. But that's not reported in the news, is it? Because it's not dramatic and it's not interesting. It's always the shit stuff that's reported in the news.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like here, like we're not. We could just be talking about comedy. So, who's your favorite comedians?
Yeah.
But I suppose I'm looking for the more dramatic in a way.
Yeah.
But you talk about Irish. Your comedy, you slag the Irish a lot in the Savage Eye and accents, and you do it really well. But if you were to do the same thing about, I don't know, well, you probably wouldn't do the Jews, but like
Jesus
whoever,
Christ.
like anyone, non-Irish.
Because I'm not Jewish, Aidan.
Yeah.
I can't. I have no permission. If I was Jewish, I'd slag off Jewish people, but I'm not. I'm Irish. You know what I mean? So, and also, by the way, the reason the Savage Eye was asking questions about Ireland was we had to get the fucking thing commissioned in RTE. And they think the only thing that Irish people are interested in is Irishness. If you ever look at every TV show, it's the Irish in the middle of Ireland, Ireland. Everything's fucking Ireland. It's a load of shit. But it's the only one. Like, I hate it. The one question I did enjoy answering though in one of the episodes was, why do the Irish drink so much? Because I am an alcoholic, so I was interested to know, to get to the bottom of that. But anyway. My friend Paul Chowdhury, he's British Asian, he can slag off his ethnicity, but if I do it, I'd be fucked, and rightly so.
But are we not all human? Like if you were doing it with the same good nature that
No.
you do with the Irish?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, but I just think
You can in Asia. In Asia, because in Singapore, I used to live in Singapore, there'd be
maybe
Malay,
10 years ago or 15 years ago.
You
But
can
no.
do it now, the black, yellow, all the different colours, all the religions, they slag the shit out of each other because they all live in the same buildings.
Yeah, but it depends on what you're saying.
But they're friends and they slag each other.
Oh yeah, well we're friends, but if you're doing it on the stage, I wouldn't. It has to be very nuanced, and it has to be delivered in such a way that the people that you're. I mean, for instance, I used to do this joke about Australian border security. You know that TV show, Australian Border Security, right? You know the way Australians have that sort of question at the end of every sentence? Have you noticed that? Anyway, in Australian Border Security, it's quite a racist show, because if you are Chinese on that show, you will always have heroin on you, right? So that's the idea, right? And so I used to do this enactment of, I'd be an Australian border security welcoming a Chinese person from Shanghai. Hello, welcome to Melbourne. What's your name? And then I used to fucking do the Chinese accent. This is about 10 years ago. But now I wouldn't do it, because don't do the that Chinese accent, that sort of stereotypical Chinese accent. Because, if there's somebody in the audience who's from an area of China, you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable and all that sort of stuff. In the same way, when back in the day, British people would, do stupid fucking Irish jokes. I mean, we didn't give a shit that much, but it just made us, we just thought, oh, that's a bit cunty. You know what I mean? So you don't want to be, so anyway, I just still do the joke sometimes, but I just don't use the accent. Because the times fucking move on. Times move on. And you also, again, I want to be able to work in clubs, and I want to be able to create wealth for myself, and I don't want to, I mean, I'm not on a fucking, a mission here, like Graham Linehan is. He's very courageous, and I appreciate how courageous that man is. But sometimes I see him being interviewed, and he sounds very emotional, like he's very harried, you know. But he's a very intelligent guy. But Jesus Christ, you know what I mean?
Well, I would think, you know, it'd be better. I mean, he's a national treasure in Ireland for what he's created. I mean, we love comedy in Ireland. He's created
Father Ted, yeah, one
maybe
of the best ever. Yeah,
ever.
well,
Savage Eye. Yeah. But he's done that, and I don't see any support from him. And as far as I can see, a lot of people don't even really know what he said. Maybe myself included. I looked into it, but I could only see the three basic things.
Well, it's interesting you say that. Why is there no support? Because people are fearful, and people are very compliant. And it only takes a small, tiny, militant group of people to change society. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, I am...
Would you do a gig with Graham Linehan?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah? And you wouldn't be afraid that people might cancel you for being on the same lineup or anything?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, but you do it anyway?
Yes, I would.
Would you come to the show? Are you going to come to the show? All right, cool. Yeah, for as far as I could see, he was saying biological men shouldn't be allowed in women's sports, and you know, under 18 shouldn't be allowed puberty blockers, and then there should be women-only spaces.
Yeah.
You know, like bathrooms or whatever. And that seemed to be his main argument, unless I'm missing something. But when I looked into it, that's all. Because people said you should stay away from that, and I said, "Geez, why should?"
But you know what it is also that whole thing that he's talking about. It's such a small. It affects such a tiny amount of people, but it gets such a huge amount of attention. It's kind of and what?
Completely disproportionate.
It's completely disproportionate, and that's the effect I felt when I went to the north of Ireland the first time. You know, I was just walking around these little areas like the Falls Road, and I thought, Jesus, the place is so small. But for years, it's just got this huge amount of attention. So it's just interesting that if you kick off and you threaten and you cancel and you fuck you, it really does work. You know what I mean? So if you ever want things changed, just get a small but mental group of people around you and just fucking threaten people and fucking throw shit at everyone. And it'll change things. Start the revolution, man.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it could be used either way. Like
Yeah.
I did a joke. I'm not going to do it. Years ago, it was about,
Oh, don't do it, please.
I wouldn't. Israel and Palestine.
No, don't
situation.
stop it.
Anyway, I'm not doing the joke, but I don't remember.
Fucking do
you
it.
can look it up
I
online.
will,
The
come on.
point of it is, right, so there's about the human shields, right? The Jewish people, the Israeli state,
Sounds like you're
dropping
doing it.
bombs. I'm not doing it on Palestine, and the essence of it was about the human shields, right? And then I did a joke, right? But when I released it, it got like, I don't know, 1,500 hits, which for me would be a lot because I'm not famous. But then there was all of these dislikes and these comments that came. And I said it to my Israeli friend, and he said, "Oh, there's actually people paid over there, like ex."
I'm turning into a rabbi just because as we speak.
Good, because I'm not taking either side on
Okay,
it.
yeah.
But with the joke, it's just a joke that was on that subject. But he said, there's another person. But he said people are paid to create content to attack anything that it goes against Israel or anything that goes pro-Palestine, because that's seen as anti-Israel.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah. So
and there's even a word for it, but I've forgotten.
all right, yeah.
Fact checkers.
Well, it was the pre-fact checkers, but yeah, maybe today's fact checkers is a version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, one is just a joke. I wasn't making it.
Yeah.
So far right, everybody's far. What does far right mean to you? Who's far right?
I don't know, mate. Far right.
Yeah, far right
Hitler.
is a far. It's far. Yeah, he was far right.
Yeah.
Well, he did that thing as well.
Oh
with
no,
the cancer.
Jesus! Don't start talking about.
We're not talking about the Jews, but he did the
But
thing.
no, essentially, look, Hitler.
Because we listened to it on a podcast when we drove down to one of the counties. We listened to Hitler because he had a military youth, a youth society, and they'd go around beating people up who questioned what their ideas were. So that was cancel culture there. And I think Mao did something. Mao in China did this thing where he got the kids to beat up their teachers if they were spoke another language. You know, because they were intellectuals.
Yeah.
But that was the idea, that was to create fear and panic, and therefore you can control. But isn't that a similar idea to cancel culture?
Oh God, yeah. Huh? Yeah. It is. Yeah. It's the same. The Nazis are cancel culture, but that was the least of the fucking problem, for Christ's sake.
But it started.
That was kind of kill culture. That was fucking the murderous rampage. Megalomaniacal fucking cult madness. I mean, but cancel. There's many layers of cancel culture. There's people that you have you ghost or you won't talk to, and so you know what I mean. That's a type of cancelling, or used to call it sending somebody to Coventry, didn't we? You know what I mean?
Get the boat.
But so you were saying that. But anyway, like I think it's reached the high watermark of the cancel culture. I think people are starting to get fed up because there's a sort of a buzzkill element to cancel culture where just because you think you know better than us, so you're making the decision that person can't speak publicly on our behalf, which makes us feel like you think we're fucking idiots and we can't. We don't have the wisdom to know what we can listen to or what we can't listen to. So it's very reductive, So we should be able to. Well, that's what I loved about fucking Speaker's Corner. The wildest shit you can imagine spoken out public. But we're not trying to kill it. We just that's insane. Do you want a cup of tea? You know what I mean? And that's where I'd love to live. I think that's very advanced democracy. And I think a lot of people can't handle that freedom. It just blows their mind, actually. And it's so boring. You have to be on this side or you have to be on this side. Well, I don't know where the fuck I am on any side. I don't know who I'm supposed to be half the time. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what it's all about. So, And sometimes if people just tell me, don't say that, I'll just say it to piss them off. And I don't even believe what I'm saying. Sometimes I'll just say something to see what it sounds like coming out of my fucking mouth. You know what I mean?
Well, so for me, if it's extreme left or extreme right, if it comes to the stage where they're controlling you with the way you speak, like the free speech which somebody shouted out, well then that's when I go, that could end really badly, regardless of which side the pendulum is swinging.
This is the worst gig ever. This is so horrible.
And
this is so horrible.
Does it feel horrible?
Yeah. No, but it's good. It's good. Maybe I should just go through the horror. Maybe I need to be cancelled and destroyed, and start again. I can always street perform. I can go back on the street performing.
Do you think you'd be cancelled for anything that was said here?
No, probably. I don't know. You're so excited by the idea that I might be cancelled. You're like a predator going, wee. But there is something quite self-destructive about the human species. I want to use an accent now, but I'm not going to. There is something quite self-destructive about the human species, and I was thinking that. The way when if something is given to you for free, you have no appreciation or respect for it. But if you work hard at something and you achieve something, then you kind of appreciate it. And I think us as humans, we were just born into these... fuck off yourself. We were born into these bodies, and there's a self-destructive streak. If you look at history, it's like a few generations, the human beings just sort of collapse in on themselves and want to eat themselves. It feels like we're on the precipice of World War III. You know what I mean? You've got, Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, everything. It looks like we're going. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. The Earth will be fine. It's been around for 4.7 billion years. We've been here like the whole human history. Like not, So who gives a fuck if I'm cancelled or not? You know what I mean? I'm not. It's not like I'm successful. So there's nothing really to cancel. That's another. You know what I mean? Cancel this. Come on, you Trinity student fucker. Come on, cancel this.
How dare you? How dare you have an opinion?
So you went to Trinity.
What?
Someone went to Trinity over there.
Yeah, no, I think I have a bit of a, as Pat Kenny would say, a bee in my bonnet, because I failed my leaving cert. And all my friends went to Trinity and UCD, and I felt so... Welcome back, thank God. I thought, maybe she's different. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
It's a bit narcissistic to think about just what it means to you if you're blown away.
Thank you.
What about the people behind that say on behind you?
Oh, I am a narcissist. I don't know if you're aware of that. No, sorry.
What can influence the future? It's not just about you.
Go on. Oh, in terms of the cancel culture thing? What?
No, you're saying that if you're blown away, it doesn't matter.
Blown away.
Yeah, because you're only here for a job.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're not. I'm not thinking about the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they won't be fucking thinking about me anyway, the cunts. Fuck them.
All right, let's have a break and then come back. If you have any questions, we'll ask Dave, and then we'll all get the fuck out of here.
I do a podcast myself, which is called "And That's Why We're Not Together." I've had a trans woman. I've had 2 trans women actually. I've interviewed who was it? Ali O'Rourke. Really, I really like her. Very nice, lovely person, and I have a lot of time. I do gigs with Ali, and also this Brazilian trans woman, hairdresser Maya, fucking hilarious. Like, yeah. So do you know what I mean? And I'd happily interview, Graham. I was going to say Graham Norton, Graham Linehan. Do you know what I mean? But isn't that what's interesting about life, that you can interview, or you can be friends, or you can talk to people who have very different opinions or points of view. That's it.
Well, I think that's what makes it interesting. And as soon as you can't have the conversation just because you disagree, well, then it's just hate. It's just like, okay, they're wrong, I'm right, so.
Well, yeah, but you can also think you're wrong, but you can, if you can't, you have to be able to talk, and then hopefully you could be swayed, or the other person could be swayed either way, and that's how we sort of learn or evolve as a society.
And also views that I've had in the past have changed. They always change with time.
Yeah.
Like, the more you grow.
You're very conspiratorial. You have that look about you, Aidan, that you see things that other people don't see. You have that look about you that you're not sure about anything. And Hannah, my ex-wife, who I adore and love, is very into her conspiracies. And I think you just think stuff is hidden all the time. Like, I don't think, like, the people that are trying or are controlling us, it's very open, not hiding it. You know what I mean? Like, the things that I'm interested are the things I find incredible and mysterious are things that are just there all the time, like trees, or like the sea, or the fact that we're fucking revolving around a sun. I think that's amazing. The size of the universe, that blows me away. I love watching documentaries about astrophysics. I love watching all that shite. No, I haven't got a clue about it. Quarks, and all that shit, and that blows my mind.
Okay, so you're talking about what's mysterious. What about God? Have you got any belief or practice?
Well, the spirit of the universe, the fact that exist is perfectly brilliant for me. I'm just amazed by it all, actually. That I can sit here and do this. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I could go, hello. I mean, even the sound, our larynx, it vibrates, and I say hello, and then you can go, oh, hello. Like, I mean, it's weird. It's quite brutish, our form of communication. I just think in a few thousand years from now, it'll just be.
When we have the chips, the Elon Musk.
And in fact, around the trans thing, and all that sort of stuff, identifying as a man and a woman and blah blah blah. I think genitals are a problem. And I think maybe we should just have a little, mound, and just have like a little USB-C slot, perhaps, and we can just transfer sexual information to each other. That woman has got her head tilted. You fucking moron. Yeah. You know what I mean. But I'm into people, and I think people's sexual identities and all that. Oh, if somebody is this, that's probably the least interesting thing about someone. Like, what do you know about someone, because they, it's people's values, what they're into, all that sort of stuff. That's what I love. But it is very, very exciting. A lot of the, when I was growing up, there used to be punks, and punks were telling adults to go fuck themselves and all that, and it's sort of reversed. Now young people are telling adults that they're disgusting and horrible. But back when I was young, adults were telling young people that they were disgusting and horrible. You know what I mean? So like woke or like reverse punks. They're like, huh? Ah, fuck off. I'm trying to make a point.
So that I presume you don't meditate or pray or any of that?
I went to Alcoholics Anonymous for a year every day, and that was quite good actually. I didn't go there because I'm an alcoholic. Thank you. I stopped drinking in 2003. Thank you. And I hadn't been drinking for 9 years, right? But I just broke up with this girl, right? And I was so fucking... And you know, if you believe someone is the one, have you ever been with someone who you thought is the one? It's romantic fucking psychosis. It's insane. Because there is no such thing as the one. There's lots of the ones. You know, you haven't met everyone. You can't believe that the person you're with... And also it puts way too much pressure on you and the person you're with. Because you're basically living with God. You know what I mean? And so every facial expression is a lesser or greater rejection. You know, I can't live if live. You know, it's fucked. Fuck that, right? So I broke up with God. Yeah, but she wasn't fucking God.
How do you know?
Oh, she definitely wasn't. Right, and I was so fucked. So heartbroken. I went to AA to try and 12-step my way out of heartbreak, and I just replaced the word alcohol with her name.
Really?
Yeah.
And they were okay with that?
No, I didn't fucking tell them.
Oh, wait, I
Didn't tell them. My name's David, and I'm a Mary-aholic. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't put it back.
But actually, I did go to Codependence Anonymous at one point as well. I mean, that's how fucking bad it was. And God love anybody who's in Codependence Anonymous. But you know what I mean? It was straight out of One Flew Over the fucking Cuckoo's Nest. You know what I mean? And you know, there'd be a guy sitting there. I was in a relationship for about 2 years and I lost my voice. Oh, fuck me. And then there was this other one. I'm much better now. I really am. You know, fucking hell. But anyway, so now, I'm much more, you know, I don't, you know, I have this interest. I've got a beautiful girlfriend. I'm very happy with her. She allows me access to her vaginal passage. I loved it. You know, get the lads down the back. And then you look at the emotionally intelligent women. Just, oh, God love them. Men, they are just such a disappointment. But we're good with our hands, and we build the roads, and we lay the fucking internet cable for you. But you're more than happy to do it, and I will support that.
Guys, let's open this up to the floor. If anybody has any questions, anything you'd like to ask.
Any
Dave.
questions? Okay, thank you. Good night.
Good.
Why isn't Savage Eye streamable or downloadable anywhere?
Because of all this dodgy stuff. In particular, like the Bull Mick, you know, so the Bull Mick was this total homophobic guy, and he talked about, at the time, he actually it was based on a barman who was deadly afraid of homosexual men coming into his bar because he thought it would turn the pub gay. And he said this to me, and I was just fascinated by this guy, and he was always going on about, he'd refer to homosexuals as queers, you know, and he was so afraid. And obviously, when people are homophobic, they're not afraid of other people's gayness; they're afraid of their own potential gayness. And I'm probably a bit gay, says you what? And I'm probably a bit gay myself, says you, but how gay do you need to be before you actually do it, says you, says I, says you. So he was very homophobic, and I just thought it was a great, like he was like Van Helsing. He talked about homosexuals like they were vampires, and he was like, well, like, he was afraid, you know, and he was brilliant. Now, the object of ridicule was people who are homophobic, but nowadays our young people, they would look at that and they would take the wrong end of the stick, and you know, they would think that I'm promoting homophobia. Which of course I'm fucking not. But if you have to explain a cunty joke to some fucking idiot, we're fucked. We're fucked. So it'll never be streamed. We will never. But Mass still exists. You can go to Mass and watch Catholic priests. It's so boring. It never changes. Mass. You know, the same thing. And Jesus did this and da 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 and la 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 la. Offer each other the sign of peace. That's the high point. That's the exciting part of Mass. Because you know it's coming to the end. What? You don't do that anymore? Or you don't do it in Protestants?
Because of the Hovis. They kind of do the...
Oh, the fist bump.
Yeah, they ruled it out during Hovis.
I wouldn't mind bumping your fist, love, what? Protestants.
So is it up to you? Do you get to make that decision? Do you own the footage from the Savage Eye and that's the reason you're not releasing it, or is that RT's decision?
Oh, I think the production company and RTE own 50-50.
Okay, so they...
Lost in the sands of time. Sure love it. There's a new age and there's new comedians and they're just bloody brilliant.
Who's good at the moment? Anyone you like?
John Witherspoon and Declan Farfalla and Mary Make-Believe.
I don't know. They're brilliant. No, they're great postmodern meta comics. You know what I mean? They just sort of are slightly, but you know what I mean? And it's brilliant.
Now there was no one Irish you mentioned there. No Irish. Is that because you hate Irish people?
No. There's lots of there's some brilliant brilliant stuff out there. Yeah, I can't remember their names off the top of my head. I mean, but anyway, yeah, there's brilliant stuff. Oh yeah, that guy Garen Music. He's fucking brilliant, that dude.
The Instagram guy, is it?
Yeah, he's excellent.
Yeah, it's fun. Have you seen him live?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
No, he's hilarious. I know who you're talking about. I was talking about live comedians, but I'll just take it.
Emma Doran.
Okay, so there's one comedian in Ireland that you like.
Oh, John Cleary, Pat McDonald. You fucking, you know what I mean? Loads of them.
Favourite characters, Dave?
Oh,
Three.
You mean in the Savage Eye?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, favourite characters.
Favourite characters in the Savage Eye, your top three, Dave.
Oh, God. The Nyardi, that was good. And I think, I'm just trying to think. Joe Duffy, love that guy. Because that is that will always be the way. Because I've noticed that with Irish people. There was a guy, they called him the Angel of Death. No, they called him he was a doctor who assisted people with suicide. Yeah, in the States. I can't remember his name. No, Justin Trudeau, no. There was a doctor anyway, Dr. Kevorkian, and you saw Dr. Kevorkian, but when he was there, he'd be over the phone and he'd be talking somebody through who was dying anyway, and they were just trying to end their life in a way that wasn't painless, painless, that was painless. But anyway, you could see, it's not that he was enjoying it, but certainly he did, yeah, maybe he was on a weird level. But I noticed that with Joe Duffy, that when he's talking to somebody who's been beaten down by life, his voice, it gets vaginal, you know, it's just like very, yeah, his voice, his larynx. You know, vaginal yeah. So that and when you ring up Joe Duffy and you're all confident and you have aspirations, he shuts down. He doesn't like it. Same with Gay Byrne. Gay Byrne didn't like it if you were very confident. But if you said something, he was quite reductive. Gay Byrne, there you go. That's all it is. It's nothing really to worry about. That's nothing. You know what I mean? So we don't like success. We don't like aspirations. We don't like, because it confronts us with our own lack of achievements. We like people to be slightly beaten down by life. There you go. Just give them £20 and he'll be doing great, and put some money in the poor box, and sure, we'll all be dead soon. That's all there is. And and Irish people love dead people. I've said this so many times. We adore dead people because dead people can't succeed, and that's the best thing you can do.
What about you, Dave? Do you like successful people?
No, I don't. No, I find it very difficult to stomach other people's success. I was hanging out with Joanne McNally, who is like the apex of Irish comedians right now. I mean, she's huge. She's doing big 1,000-seaters over the United States. And I was sitting with her, and for the first hour it was grand. And then, just by the end of it, I'm just going, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like I was looking at Stuart Lee, like I'm trying to sell out one night in Leicester Square Theatre. In London, it's a 400-seater. I sold about 50 fucking tickets. And Stuart Lee, who's a hugely brilliant comedian, 30 nights in this venue, do you know what I mean? So, like, his success is like a massive cock just whacking my face. You know what I mean? And I'm just a little bitch. Just kind of...
Is there an idea or an inkling of something you'd like to do while you can
I
still
like the
do
word
it?
inkling.
That's the question.
I have an inkling, yeah. Brilliant. I have lots of inklings, madame. But whether we will transpose those inklings into action. I'd love to write a film, like my good friend, name drop, Martin McDonagh, hugely successful playwright, director. I mean, you know, he's at the top of the top. And oh yeah, it was funny. I texted him yesterday and I said, "Where are you?" And he said, "Los Angeles." And he said, "Where are you?" "Clondalkin." I was playing in Clondalkin. But I'll tell you, a great crowd, Clondalkin, working class people, salt of the fucking earth. They wouldn't be standing up. And I thought, absolutely disgrace. It's a bloody disgrace. My middle class fucking sensibilities have been totally offended. And I'm going to do nothing about it because I have no power whatsoever. But I'm going to write a strongly worded letter to fucking the CEO of Kellogg's Cornflakes. You know, who gives a shit? Anyway, but it was a good gig, wasn't it, in Clondalkin?
Yeah, it's good. Sold out. They were on board. Lots of energy.
Yeah, I feel very guilty about how the snobbery in Dublin as regards South Side and North Side. You know, I mean, if you talk like that, well, it's better than it was, but definitely when I was growing up, it was, you know, quite sad, really. And but also, I was towards people from the country. I thought they were actually not mentally ill because of how. I mean, that's not a joke, and God forgive me. You know, I'm terrible, snobby fucking bastard. And now I'm not that way. I'm in a relationship with someone from the country. And I don't mind their accent at all. I think it's fantastic. Oh, forgive my transgressions. Oh, Jesus. Would you write Jesus, would you? You would, wouldn't you? Go on there now. Does your yoga instructor remind you of Jesus? Is he Brazilian, is he? He's gay, you know that? Go on. You don't do yoga?
Why don't you do yoga? Yeah, how do you do yoga then? I don't know.
Go on.
Do you think Jesus existed?
Jesus, well, I think you should just, he's been dead for such a long time. Stop going on about it, do you know what I mean? It would have been amazing to be Jesus, though, do you know what I mean? Like, because he died at 32, didn't he?
33, they say, yeah.
33, Jesus, you know, look, I'm 58.
And you've got a large following, like Jesus.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Instagram thinks, people who are on Instagram think they have followers. You know what I mean? This isn't a follower, look. Somebody looking at their phone like this, look. That's not a follower. Somebody who just kind of is bored and having a shit and goes like this, look. That's not a follower, you fucking moron. I've got 50,000 followers. Yeah, no you don't. You sad bastard. Jesus had followers. Jesus Christ had followers. What's your favourite quote from Jesus Christ? Our Father, who art in heaven.
Matthew 21:12.
Oh my
Get
God.
out, you den of thieves, you vipers. When he swung at the bankers. Remember he swung at the bankers?
You were a banker, weren't you?
Yeah, I know. I was a banker.
Fucking checkmate, mate.
I'd say you must have a load of bankers and lawyers in your family. With an accent like that.
Yes, I wonder. Sorry, yeah. Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, my dad was a senior counsellor, and it's funny. You know the way I just did that. I had indigestion. You heard that much more in the 70s and 80s. It was a very acceptable way. You'd hear politicians. Well, a lot of like, and it was kind of almost part of how they presented themselves. Politicians in Ireland must sound passionate, and this is true, you look at this, but say absolutely fucking nothing. And the apex of that is, who's that little door squeak that we have? Simon Harris.
And he's so, his voice has sound, you know what I mean? And he just sort of says, how dare we be nasty to old people?
Like, I mean, who disagrees with that, you fucking moron? You know what I mean?
But he says it in a way like he's standing on the pulpit fighting for freedom. And how dare we push children into swimming pools? Not on my watch.
Nobody disagrees with that. He's an extraordinary character. He got elected when he was 7. And he's so intensely boring. Like, I look at Simon Harris and I find myself, you know the way there's certain, you know the way boring people, when you're talking to them, you know the way if you stand up too quickly and you kind of get a black, you know, like, so there's certain people, woohoo! And so when Simon Harris talks, I can't look at him.
And he's just, and I'll tell you another thing. If a leaf falls from a tree, you know what I mean? The leaves we will actually super glue the leaves to trees in autumn.
But people agree with that in general, right? People.
Oh, another thing that Irish politicians do, they have to say they have to say a word, but 2 similar words, to really show that they're on top of what they're saying and they're very passionate. Well, look, we're excited, we're delighted, and we're happy. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's another thing that they do.
Why is someone like...
And also they have to, they have to stutter. They have to stutter. Stammer, which also shows, gives the impression that they're honest. So, well, look. Because again, if we see somebody with confidence, who the fuck does that guy think he is? All his fucking confidence and knowledge is fucking showing off, is he? So, as an Irish politician, even from Dublin, you have to, like, you know what I mean? You know, I don't know how to talk. And the heckles and all that.
They do come across as awkward. There's Biffo and Enda Kenny and Micheál, Bertie. Well, Bertie came across a little bit better. I know there's the corruption thing, but maybe he fits in.
I was talking to a girl actually, Lindsay, who's a big podcaster, and she said she was sexually attracted to Bertie Ahern, and part of her attraction was that he's a bit corrupt, and he loved the idea of Bertie Ahern with his big corrupt head fucking riding her. Isn't that mad, isn't it? Would you do you fancy, who's your secret crush, madame? Everyone wants to know.
Why do we have so-called leaders like that who fit the...
Well, we have the leaders. We have the leaders are a reflection of us. We have the leaders we deserve. So that's who we are right now.
We are this. That's who we are. That you're talking to Simon Harris. Hello. Yes, I will. I will definitely do anything you ask of me, and I won't question it. And you can jab me with whatever you want, and I will take that vaccine.
I'll actually drink the vaccine. I'd actually, if there was a swimming pool full of vaccine, I would jump right in.
Why? What would you get from it?
Well, it tastes delicious.
Anyway, I was asking why the leaders are so weak. What's wrong with them? Like
well, because if you have a leader would never get elected. You know what I mean? Do you think
they didn't get elected either?
What?
No one voted for Leo. I don't think he wasn't elected. He got handed it. And Micheál, did he get it? No, he didn't. It was handed to him. And Simon.
Well, I did like the fact that we had a leader who was openly gay. I thought that was pretty fucking cool. I have to say, I like that.
Yeah. Did you watch the video of him snogging his mate?
Yeah, fantastic. Have you snogged your mate? Yes. So shut the fuck up.
But not cheating on someone. I mean,
I've cheated. I've cheated.
But like as a leader of the country,
I don't call it cheating, by the way, because it implies that the woman is an exam that has to be passed or something. So I don't like that word cheating. I find it very triggering. I would say that I am practicing on other women so I can be the best lover. Thank you. I'm a comedian, missus. I don't believe a word that's coming out of my mind. I say the exact opposite to what my values are, for God's sake. So you don't sit there and judge me like a big high court judge.
The reason the politicians behave the way they do is because it's a puppeteer. And they are just puppets.
So you think there's a power behind the government? Would that power be in Ireland or outside Ireland? So Europe, the World Economic Forum. Dave won't know much about that, but I'll ask him anyway. Dave, what do you know about the World Economic Forum?
Well, I think it's a very economical forum. I don't know about the World Economic Forum. Oh, is that your man who says, you will work for nothing and you will be happy?
Yeah.
What is it? You will be, what is it?
Klaus Schwab.
Klaus Schwab. Love Klaus Schwab. You will have nothings and you will be happy. That's great. Actually, that's quite good, isn't it? Because most of you, with respect, don't have much. Are you happy? Are you very happy? Yeah, see, it works. He's so good, that guy. I would be Klaus Schwab's in a million. I'd love to be Klaus Schwab, walking around going, you will be happy.
So that means the agenda would come from outside Ireland.
And what is the agenda?
Well, I don't know. The Agenda 30 is written. Agenda 20, there was an Agenda 20 and Agenda 30. So it's written out, and then that would be passed, I presume, to the politicians to implement.
Right.
But would that not be sort of an act of treason or something? Should they not be acting on the will of the people, whatever that is, of these people in Ireland?
It's not a democracy anymore.
No.
We have no democracy.
Hey, what did you ask your dad about that, or ask Barry?
Yeah. Well, democracy.
Orion.
Orion. I don't have a fucking clue about the World Economic Forum, but I wouldn't put anything past, because I am corrupt myself. I mean, if I had money, I would be very corrupt and I'd be very bad. So whatever, yes, I agree. No democracy. Fuck that. These people can't make their own decisions. Let's take everything from everyone and, just hoard wealth, kind of like the Catholic Church, but promote poverty, which is what he's doing. You'll have nothing and you'll be happy. The World Economic Forum, I think, just figure out a way to create a bit of wealth for yourself. Be kind as much as you can and, go to the gym. I'm going to the gym twice a week now. I have a really good trainer. I pay €70. It's horrible, but I have to do it because I'm 58 and I want to feel okay. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing squats and lunges, and that's pretty good. I have to keep fit for the young girlfriend. Ew, get up!
Serious question.
Have you ever done magic mushrooms? And if so, what's your best experience?
Have you ever done magic mushrooms, Dave? And if so,
Have you ever put a cow through a mincing machine? Have you ever?
That's why I asked the question.
Have you ever taken a shovel to the back of the mother's head? Have you? Sure, look, we've all thought about it, says Yo, but whether you've done it or not. I did magic mushrooms. Oh, I did magic mushrooms. Yeah, but I'm already, to be quite honest, I was talking with somebody outside about, I'm already on the fucking, I'm quite tripping out as it is. And a bit, so actually my ex-missus did loads of ayahuasca. She went on those weekends up to Wicklow banging drums with some fucking, hey, can we all just live in a forest? Yeah, okay. No thanks. You know what I mean? But she's tough. People who could do ayahuasca, they are tough, man. I couldn't fucking do ayahuasca because I don't want to know what's inside my fucking head because it's bad, really bad. I have bad thoughts. I'm a bad motherfucker. I don't want to know what's inside. I want to keep the doors of my perception firmly fucking closed, but also they do open from time to time, and it's bad.
but mushrooms, you could argue that mushrooms and ayahuasca are related. Mushrooms would be more local here, so if you've done them, it's what happened.
And the other thing is that there are some people, like, these certain people, and they can do those drugs, and they think,
And it's fucking great. I just loved it.
and then their peers or their mates think, oh, I'll do that. And then that person does that and they're fucking mentally ill for 3 years. So I'd be very fucking careful. And especially you lads, don't be fucking doing magic mushrooms, mate. You know what I mean? Just, go jogging. Or go down to the 40 foot and, have a pint with Jocko.
Just out of curiosity, to the room,
Oh, yeah,
make some noise if you've done magic mushrooms. Make some noise if you've done ayahuasca.
Did you see these old women who just went? But it's incredible. I'm blown away by Hannah. The strength, the force that woman has. Incredible. That she could do fucking magic mushrooms. Or ayahuasca.
They can give birth, so they can do anything. They can create life. So Jesus, surely they can take ayahuasca.
Who's going to win, Trump or Biden?
Trump. Oh, sorry, Dave. Trump.
Well, my self-destructive streak, I must say, loves on some level loves to see the world collapse. I mean, that's what I loved about COVID. I love the fact that the whole place shut down, and this sense of purpose that we had. My name's Declan, and I have to go to work tomorrow. No, you fucking don't. In fact, you can just stay at home and do fuck all, and nothing really happens. That's what I loved about when 1 inch of snow fell, in 1973. You can't go to school. And it was like fucking so that it was like a big snowstorm for about 2 years. Trump coming in, I love the fact that he says crazy shit and annoys the shit out of people who probably hate me. Anyway, he's bonkers. But that's the other thing. A lot of comedians in the States, they just never stop taking the piss out of Trump, and he's such a great target for ridicule. But they don't understand, or they do, that what they're doing is that they're paying, it's a form of tribute. They're saying that he's culturally significant enough that he is worthy of being satirized. And so it just creates that divide, and people who are undecided will think, well, fuck you, I'm going to vote for him, just, you know what I mean? So the best way to deal with Trump is to ignore him. Because I know that would kill me. If ever you see those debates, it's fucking hilarious. Seeing those, guys, those senators with their lines and they're sticking to their points, and he's going, you're a rat. Or what does he say? What does he say? You're a dog. I can't do Trump. Whatever. But anyway.
I like it.
Fake news. You're a dog. You're an absolute dog. Yeah.
Do you ever watch a long video of him, like an hour? Or half an hour.
Yeah, he's very funny dude.
I mean, because you can get a snippet of anyone and make them look like a prick, but if you listen to someone for half an hour, he often surprises me. He comes across better than I expected.
Well, here's the thing with the United States. Somebody, I think it was Lenny Bruce, who talked about the government or the cabinet. It's like a what would you call, those sex shops. Like he's the manager of it. Like who cares who the manager is of a sex shop? You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't matter. There's sort of a figurehead, really. There's this serious power in the United States that we don't know about. Even lobbyists, they seem to get things done and pass bills and all that. So, like Trump, I just think he's funny.
Well, some would argue that it doesn't really matter whether it's Trump or Biden because, as you say, the globalist puppet masters, some behind them, whoever they are, would be controlling both of them. That would be an argument. I don't know if that's true. Some people say that Trump actually pulled strings.
But it's funny, like there's a part of me, those horrible, you ever see the tsunamis in Japan? I love Japan. I lost my virginity to a Japanese woman, thank you. And
what age were you, Dave?
I was 24. Her name was Takeo, she was 18, big tits, thank you. Now, those tsunamis in Japan, where you just see this big body of water slowly, and obviously all the people are out, thank God, but it just slowly wipes away all the village, and it just flattens it, and it's horrifying. But there's something terribly beautiful about it as well. It's almost like nature is reclaiming. And so even though Trump is terrible, but there's something very exciting about it. God forgive me. I want to cancel myself right now. But I disagree with myself, and I think that's important, and I forgive myself. I disagree with what I'm saying. I disagree. So, figure that one out.
I got hit by a comedian once. It was just when Trump got elected. An American comedian was in the back of a car, and there was another comic there, and I bet on Trump to win, so I won $1,000. And the other guy was saying, "You're a big Trump fan," and I just went along with it. I wasn't actually. I just thought he'd win, and I was going, "Yeah, I really like him. I actually kind of think like he's like, America's version of Gandhi." You know, and I kept going on with it until the guy just lost it and just grabbed me by the neck. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey man, calm down," you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's interesting how the Americans, they got so intense, like regardless of which side you're on, but they just took it so fucking, you know, calm the fuck down.
Perfectly timed fart there. Well done. That reminds me, you know, like dysfunctional Irish families and this horrible, you know, when we have to get together at Christmas and everybody's horrified, fuck, we have to see the auntie, we have to see, and you're all sitting around and then somebody just lets a fart and the whole place fucking, and it's such a great laugh, but it's so unusual that it's almost emotional. It's beautiful. But thank you for that. Do guys find farting funnier than women?
Yeah.
Why is that, I wonder?
Sorry, I'd just like to know about Dave's private school experience.
Dave's private school experience.
Where did you go to school? Where did you go to school?
Clongowes.
Oh, did you? I went to Clongowes for a year.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Did you lads go to Clongowes?
yeah. Were you kicked out?
No, I wasn't kicked out.
No, I went to Clongowes. I'm putting on that. I went to Clongowes when I was 13 for a year. It was grammar because they named the years.
Yeah.
With the last 6th year. 6th year is it called poetry or syntax? What is it?
Rhetoric.
And what were you all in Clongowes?
Yeah, we're all Clongowes.
Ah, you beautiful young man. Look at you. You're the future of this goddamn country. And when did you leave? What year did you leave her?
22.
22.
21.
Oh, you're just young kids. Jesus, beautiful. Did you enjoy your time in Clongowes Wood College?
I'd say so, yeah.
There you go.
And there, did you hear? But Clongowes, I didn't like it because I was bullied very badly.
By them.
And so I didn't like it. So I did not have a good time in Clongowes.
Bullied why? Because you weren't good at sport? Because you're
Wasn't good at sport, wasn't academic. No, I was small, I was 13. And I went in, there was the first year and I went in the second year. And yeah, so it made me, it sort of shut me down, made me very defensive. So then I went back to Blackrock College. And I was a little cunt, I have to be honest with you. I was very vicious.
And is that part of the comedy? Is that where the comedy came from?
Yeah, you're trying to direct the viciousness away from you towards some defense mechanism. Yeah, defense mechanism.
Your comedy is a trauma.
No, my comedy. Yeah, it would be a comedy. No, my comedy is very much motivated by revenge. Look at Aidan looking at me. But if you look at Savage Eye, it's all revenge. It's all getting back at people, like getting back at Joe Duffy. Because one time I did an interview with Joe Duffy, and he was quite dismissive of me, and I just went, was it Miriam O'Callaghan? Miriam O'Callaghan. Oh yeah, because she was always going on about her babies. She was always going on about her kids. No, it wasn't. It was Blondie Huffig. Anyway, whatever. But you know, the only way people should take it is that it is a tribute to them because they're culturally significant enough that should be taking the piss out of them. So it's like, thank you very much for it, you know. Although Joe Duffy particularly was very upset and tried to. Oh no, he had a religious show where he tried to accuse the Savage Eye of blasphemy.
Ooh.
Because there was one particular sketch where we said, if you weren't familiar with Catholic orthodoxy and somebody said to you, like as a psychiatrist, somebody said to you, oh no, I just ate his body and I drank his blood, you'd be like, okay, and where's Jesus now? He's inside me. Okay.
And so Joe Duffy tried to get you cancelled because of that.
Yeah.
Well, personally.
Yeah, but there wasn't. Nobody took cancel culture seriously back then.
No, and also the blasphemy laws didn't seem to be that strong anyway.
No.
So how's comedy changed over the years since you've done it, and how would you like to? Where's it going now, and where would you like to see it go?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's always the same. It's just, like, even if you're not supposed to say something, that's great because you can just dance on the edge of stuff. And it's always, like comedians who go on about, oh, you could say this stuff. That, you just move with the times, that's it. and you try to come up with imaginative ways of making people laugh. I think when people complain about comedy, they're basically saying they didn't find whatever it was, they didn't find it funny. Because if you can make people laugh, if people find something funny, even if it's very outrageous, you can get away with it because it's funny. Okay?
Do you not find that people are getting more offended and the comedians are often trying to sanitize their comedy?
Well, it'd be interesting. Would it be? I was talking to your mate there outside, and when we were young growing up, you know, kids were sort of free range, and they were just thrown out. I mean, although it was bad because a lot of kids were unprotected and terrible things went on, but nowadays obviously kids are more protected, which is good. But what I'm saying is the side effect of that overprotection is that people nowadays, like they're just not able to handle stuff that they can't agree with. Maybe there's that possibility, but yes, being offended and expecting something to be done is like, you know, ridiculous. You know, it's like having a shit and expecting to win an award or something. Just have your offence, you know, and move on. You know, just be offended. I mean, it's okay. Like nothing bad's happened. You're just offended, huh? Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of something fucking intelligent to say. Be offended. Yeah, and also it's so arrogant to think that you're offended, therefore that person should shut the fuck up. But there's loads of other people who are maybe disagree with what that person was saying, but like, are you saying that, well, they're not smart enough to know the full extent of what that person's saying, so therefore you're making the decision on their behalf? Like, how arrogant of people to think that. And it's usually younger people who've had no fucking life experience. Like, a lot of the stuff that you say, you'll say something with a twinkle in your eye, and I'll be able to pick it up, and I have life experience. But even if I don't agree with it, so fucking what? We can still, you know, sleep together in hotel rooms. Did you tell Lexi about that?
Finally,
yeah.
Finally. If you won the lottery, where would you live and what would you do?
Well, I'm definitely not based anywhere. I'm stuck in Dublin. I'm not that rich, you know what I mean? But if I had a load of money, where would I live? I don't know, Tokyo, New York. You know, I'd get a fucking, I don't know where I'd live, man. I'd get a farm in County Cavan, and it'd be a bachelor farmer, and I'd be out there looking after the cattle. I don't know. Where would you live if you had loads of money? Probably
Ireland. I'd definitely live in Ireland.
Would you?
Well, because I already had money, and I decided I wanted to be in Ireland. I felt called to be in Ireland.
I'd like to go to Peru.
Well, on holidays.
No, I'd like to live in Peru and live in a small village, and just see what's going on and see who needs money and who, you know, and just try to raise the whole thing up and then just become the king of that village. No, I'll tell you what I'd like. This is actually what I'd honestly like to do. I'd like to buy, where I'm staying in this place in Portobello, I'd like to buy every single fucking house and then cordon it off and just have like a dirt road like the old Western films, and I would like to be sheriff of that road and have a horse, and anybody who came from outside, I don't like strangers around here. What? We don't like your kind. You know. And because I like all the gear. Oh, look, fuck that. Look at that. I've got it already. Look. I just had, you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. You know, I'd love to be a sheriff of my own town and shoot strangers.
David McSavage, who wants to shoot strangers.
Thank you.